Hey guys, what's up? We are back with another episode. Today on our episode, we have a very special guest. His name is Avi Mittal. Avi Mittal is an entrepreneur. He has his own investment fund management company, Golden Ace Ventures. He also has a superstar celebrity management company, which he is a co-founder of. But the reason he is on our podcast today is because he is the honorable chairman of All India Mixed Martial Arts Association. So let's not waste any more time and let's hear it from the man himself. So hi Avi sir, how are you?
Good, Swapnil. Really good. Thank you for having me on your show. It's really a pleasure and an honor to be here.
Yeah, no, actually, thank you for being on the show. So usually what I do is I ask my guests what is going on in lockdown, but I don't think I'll ask you that because I know the amount of work you do and the amount of things you have to do. So I mean that would be a good question because you're already busy, right?
Of course. It's just been a lot of changing in my organization, restructuring the organization, new ventures coming in, old ventures reevaluating. So, trying to be as productive as one can during this time.
Yeah. I mean, now you say new venture is coming in, and I have to ask you this: how do you manage all these things? I mean, you're already doing so much things, and you say now a new venture is coming in. How do you manage time?
Time is something that how you place it and you make the optimum use of it. That's very important. But when it comes to like in my portfolio, as you know, I've got about 20 odd ventures and various companies which I sit on their boards and advisory boards. So I do my time management very properly, where I dedicate equal, if not more, time to every venture. And as and when the requirement is there, it's about the whole balancing factor that comes into play. And of course, during now with this whole world pandemic happening, and we all needed to reevaluate our strategy in business and which ventures can now be fruitful. What is the need of the hour? There's a mix of all of it together. So yeah, definitely, certain ventures have now, like, we have to reevaluate that they are whether they're feasible at this current situation, or should we put them on on the back burner and focus on maybe exploring new avenues, which we have, like, because of the need of the hour, we've just diversified into solar energy as well, and into medical services as well. So technology is something which is fastest growing. So we definitely like try to live up with the need of the hour and with the trends of the world.
Yeah, right. I mean, all the best for your new ventures as well. Talking
Thank
about
you.
mixed martial arts, I'd first like to in the fraternity mixed martial arts community, people might know that you are the honorable chairman of the All India Mixed Martial Arts Association. First, I would like to ask you, how did your MMA journey start as a fan or as anything in MMA?
So my MMA journey started way back when Super Fight League used to happen here in Mumbai at a studio in Andheri. So there was this actor friend of mine called Rohit Roy,
Yeah.
was very good friends with Mr. Raj Kundra, who's my former, who was the earlier chairman for IMA.
Right.
And he used to have him and Bill Dosanjh used to conduct the Super Fight League with Sanjay Dutt ji and all of them. So I once went and I saw, what MMA and cage fighting all was about, and I was completely awestruck by the sport, because it's like the whole format caught my fancy. And that's the time when I met Bill Dosanjh over there at that same event, and we connected. And over a period of time, we were talking. Like, he was like, I was telling him I would love to, in some way be part of mixed martial arts, and what is your plan, what's your growth plan for this venture here in India, since you were the first people to you know have the first movers advantage here in India. So yeah, that's how it began from there. And then Bill wanted to re-strategize with Super Fight League, and turn it into a team format and a multi-city event with getting more, like, corporates and actors and everything involved. And knowing my background into, like, having good relationships with big business families, at the same time with celebrities across Bollywood. So hence we decided to to turn this into a partnership and build this intellectual property. So from that's where my journey began into MMA. And from then on, it's been an amazing ride. Like, I would say definitely a roller coaster ride,
Yeah.
but an amazing ride for sure.
Yeah. So how much do you think that format worked, wherein fighters were in a team and teams were going with another teams? How much that format worked, do you think? Because in international MMA, we see that there is no team thing because a fighter is on his own. So how do you think that format worked?
See, it was a very unique format, and it was but very well accepted. The views in India were even higher than our, foreign counterparts and competitors like UFC sitting on the same channel. Super Fight League got more eyeballs than UFC at that given time. All right, so the format did work, and even our whole idea behind it was to create more fan base and awareness of the sport. It was not just about the fighter, but it was mainly about the sport. And India was just right now recently accepting what this sport was all about, and accepting the fact where we had to actually educate people that mixed martial arts is not a foreign body for us. Mixed martial arts is a homegrown event and a homegrown sport which was founded in India itself through Kalai Apatu, as you rightfully know.
Yeah.
So it was well accepted, and because of the success of it, that's when Bill decided that let's do a boxing league as well. It's a space that is uncharted, and it's I think the next thing that one should do. So then we launched the boxing league together as well. Maybe we flew a bit ahead of ourselves early in time, but well, when you don't take risks, how would you know and learn from them, right? So there's always it's good to try and charter on new territories, and it was well accepted, I think, and particularly with the whole mix of the sport, the corporate, and the stars, the kind of mix that we tried to make together, it kind of went down very well. So yeah, the whole team format was very unique and different, and what we wanted to basically do by creating this format was create more of a fan base and local engagement of people into mixed martial arts. So hence we brought together this recipe where we brought together a known FMCG or a known brand that is the people's brand, which was the corporate owner of the team, and brought together from those local areas like who have connect Bollywood celebrities to engage into that team as celebrity co-owners, and of course then the local fighters as well. So creating that fan base was making people more aware of the sport of MMA. That was our whole vision behind it.
Yeah, I mean, naturally it will help to bring eyeballs to the sport. And obviously, I mean, people here have an understanding still that martial arts is something like WWE. So I mean, there is not lot of awareness in every house, as they say. I mean, that's why it may be not a crowd puller as such. What do you think, right?
See, that's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
Sports became famous. Each and every sport became famous and got the eyeballs when India triumphed in it. All right, where boxing became big in India the day the likes of Mary Kom and all of the movies and all of it became more familiar. So that way, Bollywood plays a very, very hardcore, influential role in our country, whether it's in sports or whether it's in anything for that matter, right? So the movie Sultan, the movie Brothers, this educated the common man also that such a sport does exist, right? And that's how it was, I think, probably the right way of building a sport in the country. And now with all the facilities and everything available, I think MMA is doing pretty good, and a lot of international international promotions have come into India, like Brave and One FC is coming into India, and there's awareness is being created really well, and then we have our homegrown amazing promotion by Tiger Shroff and his family, which is Matrix. So there's a lot of traction happening for sure, and the sport is on its right track, and I think it will surely build up even more in time.
Yeah. Now you just spoke about Matrix. I mean, Matrix has put on like really good martial arts events in the country. So what do you think about Matrix? Like, does it has the ability to be like one of the very big organizations and a very big show in India, and even overall, even outside India?
100%. The kind of dedication and the team that is building this Matrix promotion, hats off, like Krishna Shroff, Aisha Shroff, Alan Fernandez. I see each one of them, how they are at it consistently. And they've always, with every show, they've only learned and created it, taken it to a notch higher. And if this wasn't going that big, their last show went international to Dubai. So definitely it's going to be on one of the front runners in the whole mixed martial arts promotion space. So there's Matrix, there's Super Fight League, there's Brave, there's One FC. I think and UFC, of course. UFC is sitting where you put in a comparison over here, which I shouldn't, but just to give an overview of things, like UFC is the IPL, right? There are many other cricket leagues also that happen in India, right? Or even globally for that matter. So all of them are trying to compete because the benchmark that is set up is IPL. The same way in MMA, it's UFC. These guys will take their time and are building up really, really well. And I think an Indian homegrown promotion like Matrix definitely has a very bright future and has a great team behind it. So I definitely think it's got a lot of perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I've probably many a times heard fighters say that Matrix is taking really good care of the fighters. Even that is important. So yeah. So let's talk about like Mixed Martial Arts Association. So when did you come in
Right.
as a chairman? That was which year?
That was 3 years ago.
Right. So what changes like
I
do
think this
are
is
you?
my third year now. This is
Yeah.
my third year as honorary chairman of All India Mixed Martial Arts Association.
Right. So from the point that you have entered, have you seen any changes? Like what changes do you see, or are the changes expected in future? What are the kind of changes you want to see?
So definitely there has been a lot of changes in the whole scene, and I have tried to do my best in
Yeah.
every way in my capacity.
Right.
Like I yearly we host a conference for all the delegations, and and we do it with and we discuss and we like, felicitate everyone's hard work. There's appreciation. Fighter needs are looked after. There's so much transparency in the way how fights are sanctioned, and I think I'm very fortunate to have a very good board standing behind me, comprising of Daniel Isaac and Jitu Jain and, Alan Fernandez and Ryan, all of them. They've really been like, on it. And I think we're doing a pretty decent job in sanctioning events and bringing transparency to the sport of mixed martial arts in India. And that's the reason we're appreciated by most organizations and as well as from government bodies as well. And even like on a regular basis, we have a lot of people who are joining this whole movement of mixed martial arts as such. With like if you go and see on our IMA website, like the memberships, the whole website has been revamped, been recreated. So a lot of hard work by the whole board and the team has been put in, and we're trying to take this movement ahead. I personally had some plans where I wanted to do something. Pro fights are definitely happening, right, through Matrix and all these various promotions. But I want to personally enter into the amateur MMA, space, where try and create an opportunity for the amateur fighters, because those amateurs, they feel left out unless they're in that big league, and until they don't get that many fights to get
Yeah.
into the big league.
Yeah.
So that there's no that platform is missing, and that's something which is definitely on top of my agenda to create very soon.
Yeah, I mean that would be great. Even the fighters would have a good base before they enter the pro, right? And they'll feel good
Precisely.
about the recognition that they will be getting. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you about the international federation. So I guess
Right.
IMA
Gamma.
parted away with the international federation some years back. So is IMA back with the international federation? What is the status on that?
So IMA is so what that decision was taken by the board prior to me becoming chairman. But
Yeah.
as we all know that there are certain divisions in every sport that loves to play politics and not the sport. So I will reserve my comment on that.
Yeah.
But IMA is definitely fully sanctioned by an international governing body, which is called the Global Authority for Mixed Martial Arts Federations, GAMAF,
Yeah.
and we are one of their founding members as well,
Yeah.
and we're fully sanctioned, and that's the reason that we could host an event where it was sanctioned by GAIMAF in Dubai for Matrix. So we're definitely associated with the international body and the right body. I feel where a lot of other associations, if you go and do your research on from the current international body, are actually joining GAIMAF, and because they see the transparency in the way of operating, and there is not that much political interest or vested interest. It's the only pure interest and the vision that we all currently share, whether it's IMA or GAIMAF, is the future of the sport of mixed martial arts.
Yeah, and I mean that is going to do good to the sport, right? I mean more eyeballs will be coming in, people will be more happy to view the sport if it is done on on the right track as well. So I also wanted to ask you, are you a mixed martial arts fan? Like, do you follow fights or like UFC or Bellator or One Championship?
Well, as you, Swapnil, rightfully know, I am definitely a mixed martial arts fan, but
Yeah.
I'm more of a fan, I think, that way with my local fighters over here. Whenever like they're there, I would definitely make it an effort. But as you also know that I have my hand, all 10 fingers of mine in different various avenues of businesses of mine. So time has always been a constraint. But yeah, definitely fighters that I personally know, or like, whether it's boxing fights or matches like for Amir, who's a dear
Yeah.
friend and a brother. So like I do definitely make that effort and take the time out as much as I can. But if any mixed martial arts event happening in and around India, or like, which we are part of, I make it a point to make the time and attend those events. You must have seen me at every event possible that I do take that time out.
Yeah, I mean that's great, and I know the amount of work you do and the busy schedule you have. It's hard to keep up with like looking at the fights all the time. But I mean, I appreciate what you are doing, and because we are fans of the sport, we love the work you guys are doing, and we get to see more and more of it. So I think I would also like to ask you. You have a very good relationship with other sports as well, right? With football, with billiards. If I'm not wrong, I mean I've
No,
researched
no,
a bit.
you're
Yeah,
you're absolutely correct. My sports journey started with billiards and snooker. Very few
yeah,
people actually know this. At the young age of 13, I've actually played the snooker nationals of India
yeah,
and the state championships as well. And yeah, so hence I've also associated with snooker and billiards. And we're off late in one of my ventures. I partnered with like 18-time world champion Pankaj Advani. Oh,
yeah,
sorry, now he's 21 times world champion. And my bad. And we started something where I believe that for every sport to grow, it is about the grassroots level of because getting the recognition for that sport. So we started something called as Q School by Pankaj Advani. We started about three of them in Bangalore as we speak,
yeah,
in the Delhi public schools in Bangalore, and where young kids right from the age of 12 and above are properly trained and already with the techniques and everything that Pankaj did, and it's to achieve the heights of being a 21 time world champion. So the same way, yes, I'm associated with that. Then football, I have a little in a local league over here. I had a team for a while called the Undefeatable FC. Cricket, underarm turf cricket is something which I'm very passionate about as well. I actually own a team in a few leagues. At the same time, I also organized a charity league called Swaraj Cup under my grandfather's name,
yeah,
where I brought together a bunch of celebrities as well as politicians and prominent businessmen to buy these teams, and we did a small league just before this lockdown it concluded, which was a completely cause for charity on my granddad's name. So
yeah.
yeah, sports is always very close to my heart, and then of course the IPL. I've worked before in the past closely with the dear friend Keshav for Gujarat Lions. Right now, I'm trying and I work a little bit with the Kings 11 Punjab in whatever way that I can, help and support the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much that.
Yeah, I mean that's fantastic. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it a thing wherein people consider billiards a rich man game or a rich man sport?
Well, that's a very wrong notion, but it was
Okay.
more or less perceived in that way because initially there wasn't open access to the sport. Why they call it a rich man sport today? A billiards table cost anywhere between a good size, like a good table cost anywhere between 2 to 5 lakhs,
Right.
and a cue stick to play the right cue stick would be about like anywhere between 20 to 25,000 rupees.
Yeah.
So people always had that today, but the facilities were not available. You want to play cricket? Why is cricket so famous? Any you can just buy a bat and a ball and start playing it anywhere. It's
Yeah.
about how that's why you need to take every sport to that grassroots level and to that age barrier where people at their young time understand the sport and try to learn that everything is not out of their reach. But
Yeah.
now with that whole, where there was this whole wave back in, I think about 10 years ago when all these pool and snooker parlors opened all across India. And that's when people became more, where of course the facility was available. They could go play. It was, accessible to them. So that's the reason where that whole notion had to be changed. And I think now pretty much I think billiards and snooker with the amount of, more than cricket, more than hockey, more than tennis, more than badminton, or more than any other sport. We do not know this, but I want to go on record and say this. India holds the highest world titles, if in any sport. They hold it in billiards and in snooker. Thanks to the likes of Michael Ferreira, Jeet Sethi, Wilson Jones, Pankaj Advani, Dhruv Sitwala, Saurav Kothari, all these names, Manoj Jain, these are guys who have really built the sport. And we have the highest number of world titles in it. So how can it be a rich man's sport? Pankaj Advani came from nowhere and he's made where he is today.
Right. I mean, you can even add your
All
name
of,
in this in that thanks list because even you are associated with the sport. And also on that note, I would also like to ask you, coming back to the mixed martial arts thing, would
sure.
it be very helpful, like if schools start teaching mixed martial arts to kids from a very young age, be it a boy, be it a girl? I think it would be a great idea to do that.
Definitely, like, see, in a way, mixed martial art is taught in schools, whether different forms of it, whether
Yeah,
judo, karate, boxing, all of them are there. But giving that option and promoting it as MMA is something which we lack yet in our country, and that's the reason that, like, I always on every given platform I go and I shout it out that it is being practiced, and there are opportunities that can grow further.
yeah,
Today, every Bollywood celebrity, every top athlete, even whether they're athletes in other sports, to stay fit, they use mixed martial arts as a form of training,
yeah,
right? And so that's the reason MMA gyms is like growing phenomenally. Like
yeah,
how Matrix as a promotion also has a whole chain and franchise of MMA gyms. There are around about, if I'm not mistaken, about more than 600 gyms across India that offer mixed martial arts. So there's cult, there's various. So it's the best form of fitness, and I would tell and encourage parents to please not think that MMA is a blood sport. It's not a blood sport.
yeah,
It's a sport that is good for for your flexibility, for your stability, for even for your mental stability, and for your entire body physical fitness. Because the form of mixed martial arts, the way you work out, comparing it with conventional workout. Conventional workout in a week, you say, all right, you need to in today's fast life, it's difficult to make that time. So people say, okay, today is my back and biceps, one day is my shoulder, triceps, one day is like my chest, legs. So instead of that, MMA, within 60 minutes of an MMA workout, you have your full body is worked out and you're, fit and good. So I would definitely suggest everyone to promote MMA by, enrolling their kids and making them part of this, great sport.
yeah. And I mean, I've obviously seen this, that I feel MMA workouts are more smarter form of workouts than our conventional and traditional workouts. So I would also like to ask you, what do you think is the state of the Indian fighters with respect to the skill and the talent? Do you think they will be able to compete at the highest of level right now, or they need more of it?
Well, I think the Indian fighters are pretty much very dedicated. I've seen a lot of hard work that has been put in by them. As you rightfully know, that during this lockdown, because of for these fighters, we hosted something called as the Virtual Fight Championship (VFC) that was hosted by the All India Mixed Martial Arts Association
Right.
jointly with me and a few. I brought together a few of my friends and asked them to sponsor this bid, and we all came together and supported these fighters. So I saw a lot of videos during that time while the BFC was going, and the dedication, the hard work, the knowledge that our fighters have across. I think they're pretty much ready to get to and compete at a world platform, but they just need that right push and still need that more dedication that needs to be coming in from their end to envision that, and that can only happen if they're supported in the right way. Today, if they are deviated with their personal lives, family lives, responsibilities, and then they're still making time for the sport is not how you can achieve, a world talent. But a few of them have been, been part of the, what do you say, global platforms like One FC and, all of that. And I'm very hopeful and very sure that in the near future, we will have big names coming out of India as well.
Yeah, and I mean, even if they are paid well, I mean that will obviously happen once it's a crowd puller. The sport once becomes a crowd puller, they will also be paid well in the sport, which will even motivate them to get into mixed martial arts. Even the new kids.
100%, 100%. Every sport needs that push of, wealth, obviously, to it. And that's where, the CSR programs and corporates have really been helping a lot in those ways. And I would like, say that right from even in the terms of Indian politics, our ex-sports minister, Rathod ji, and our current sports minister, Rijiju ji, they all have been really pushing mixed martial arts a lot and trying their best to help and promote and support us. So definitely that is a very, very, it's a big honor for us for, it to be felicitated in that way.
Right.
So yeah, there is still more of a push needed, but I
Yeah.
will try and do my best. So whatever little bit that I can and try and bridging that gap between, both ends of it.
Yeah, right. I mean, I would have to ask you this. What would be the vision mission of All India Mixed Martial Arts Association? Or probably you could tell me how do you see, like in 3 years or in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, where do you see this sport and what is the vision for it?
See, the vision and mission of All India Mixed Martial Arts Association is something that I think you should ask its founder, Daniel Isaac.
Yeah,
But as its current chair, honorary chairman, I
yeah,
would definitely say the vision is to, create and build transparency in the sport by sanctioning right events, by overlooking and helping and assisting the fighters, the officials, the creating more of a platform, as well as creating that kind of network for the sport, that people can gain and exchange knowledge and be part of a bigger this. And my personal vision for IMA was like, I want to now, like, IMA has done very great in its sanctioning for international and pro fighters, and for creating promotions, and all the hard work that has gone into it, no doubt about that. But my mission and vision would be to create more of a platform, as I said earlier, for the amateur fighters.
Yeah, right. I mean, we are looking forward to that. So, sir, before we wrap this up, like, do you have any final messages to people out there? Anything?
I would definitely like to say that, first of all, thank you so much, Swapnil, for having me on your show once again. It's a pleasure and an honor. You can feel free to reach out to me. And my message to everybody else over there is saying, if you're a mixed martial artist and in any way you seek any assistance or any help or any guidance, if Avi Mittal can do his little two bit for you, I am always openly accessible. Chairman@ima.org is my email address. Reach out to me. There's Facebook, Instagram. I always read even my direct messages, that how people reach out to me. And I think Swapnil was also reached out to me through that platform.
Yeah.
And here I am at his interview. So I'm very openly accessible, unlike my predecessors who were, sitting up there just as a position. But I'm not at a position. I'm there for you guys. And in any way, if I can be of any help and assistance, please feel free to reach out to me. And I look forward to seeing all of you all in that case. So never give up, and let's keep fighting.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very true message, because I'm a sitting proof right here that I messaged Avi sir, and he replied to me within a matter of time. So thank you so much for joining, sir. Thank you so much for taking
Thank
time
you.
out from your busy schedule. And for the viewers,
My pleasure.
stay healthy and keep up the good fight. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Swapnil. You too. Stay safe, stay blessed. All the very best.